My name is Augusta Alban, and I am a writer and your host of Don't Retire, Inspire at Suffolk Studio 73. It is my honor and my privilege to have hopeful and helpful conversations with our guests who are continuously looking for new ways to add meaning to their lives and to ours. Our guests share with us their findings, successes, motivation, and their belief. Their motto: life is a journey, not a destination to be reached. Their belief: happiness is abundant at any age. Today on Don't Retire, Inspire, I am so pleased to welcome Rosalie Deer Heart. She is author of the book Awaken. Hi.
Hi.
I'd like to think you're my friend too.
Well, I hope so.
Okay, I know so much about you.
I'm going to learn more about you.
Well, we have friends in common.
We do.
And so you have become my friend through them.
Ooh. Okay.
Because they talk about you wonderful things all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to know, this is a fabulous book.
Thank you.
A lot of soul searching.
Yes.
A lot of revealing.
A lot of revealing. Lots of study.
Lots of study.
Lots of inspiration.
Where do you get your inspiration?
Love.
Oh, how nice. Explain more.
Well, this whole book is about awaken to love. This whole book is about awaken to the power of love. This whole book is about not playing safe with love, but really letting love lead your life and leading your life with love. The book was originally, my working title for this book was The Conscious Continuum. And I wanted to write about consciousness.
Okay.
And,
yes.
and how to explore consciousness, and how to expand consciousness, and how to move from simple consciousness into a multidimensional consciousness, and ultimately to transform our consciousness into unity consciousness. So I got halfway through, and I felt a little stuck. And it was like, oh, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. And I realized that love is what grows consciousness. That love is what expands consciousness. That love is what opens possibilities and opportunities. So when I realized that, when I got it,
yes,
it was like, oh my gosh.
An awakening.
Here we are.
One word.
Awaken.
Love.
Yes, yes. It's not a new concept. I mean,
no.
Religions have been talking about this for a very long time.
But sometimes don't you think we make it more complicated than things are?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Did you, I know you enjoy being with your grandchildren.
Yes.
Do you find that being with them is the purest form of love?
Most of the time.
Well, I know, but you know, as I always say to my grandchildren about after I've been up with them at 5 o'clock in the morning, when it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I say, "Where's the nanny?" You know, enough.
Right, right. Well, 8 years ago, I made a commitment to raise my 2 grandchildren, and it was a huge commitment because I was in the world. I was doing workshops and teaching and writing, and I knew that this was a different way of being of service than I had ever been before.
Okay.
And I also knew that in order to nourish them and nurture them and inspire them, I had to really be present.
Yes.
And so I pretty much let go of a lot of aspects of my life to be present. So awakening is being present to love, being present to how love is asking us to grow and expand.
Was there some sadness in letting go of this other life? Because it really was another.
I was too busy with...
That's a good point.
I was too busy with 2 children. My daughter was in residency. She's an anesthesiologist. So she specializes in putting people to sleep, and I specialize in waking people up. And we all live at the same address.
Well, it's a good thing, because if you put them to sleep, you need to wake them up.
Well, yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? It works.
It does work.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got the whole continuum right there.
Right in the house.
Yep.
This is a wonderful thing for you to do. Why did you do this? I don't think most grandparents would take on full time as you have, raising the children.
Well, number one, it was needed.
Okay.
Number two, I wanted to have an impact on my grandchildren. I really believe that they are our gifts to the future.
Oh, yes.
And I'd always been interested in how children grow and develop. And I was a teacher. I taught in middle school and high school and college. So I had this laboratory.
Right there in the home.
Right there in the home. And my son was electrocuted when he was 14 years old.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I was 33.
Whoa.
He was 14. So in a way, returning to be a grandparent was like another opportunity to mother and nurture and see life through to wherever it will be.
It is an opportunity. I feel that it's your attitude that makes it so open. And a lot of people maybe wouldn't have had the same attitude.
Yeah, I have friends who just look at me and go...
They shake their head, don't they?
No, they say, better you than me.
Oh. But there's a goal here, and you've elected to do this.
It feels like it's a soul agreement. It feels much bigger to me than a goal. I feel like all of us, my daughter, my two grandchildren, and I had a soul agreement for this kind of engagement to occur. And I think we've all done our parts.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When you say soul agreement, I have one definition of that. Would you explain to me your definition of that?
Let me hear yours first.
Well, I think somewhere out there, this can't be all that there is to life, meaning Starbucks and ATMs. There are different dimensions. I think Einstein said there were 11. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in a different dimension, it is my thinking that we get together with different souls. Am I doing all right so far?
You're doing fine.
And I think we make agreements to reincarnate, if that's what you wish to call it, and do certain projects and certain things. And when we do and we come here, that goal, that purpose is inside of us. And then it comes our way and we're like, oh yeah, okay. Now you tell me yours.
For me, as a human being, as a woman this lifetime, I believe I have made soul agreements. And they're like Velcro.
Oh, explain that.
Well, they're like Velcro. It's like when I step into an energy field that resonates with an agreement I've made,
it sticks.
We mush. We merge.
It just feels good.
It sticks. And for me, I as a human being am responsible, I call it an evolutionary obligation, for the continued evolution of my soul.
Okay.
So I've made agreements about what kind of experiences and expressions my soul needs from me to continue to evolve and grow. And almost all the time, at least in my experience, those soul agreements feel like they're much bigger than I, as a human being, am. So they call for me to be right on my edge, right on my edge of knowing, right on my edge of competence, so that I'm a big container, a really big container in terms of saying yes, stepping in, and when you do that, as you said, there's joy, there's clarity, there's well-being and good health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's joyful.
Absolutely.
And your thought process doesn't go outside. You don't question it. Should I be here? You're here.
You know.
You know, you're here.
Right. You know, with every cell of your being,
Yes, exactly.
that's where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And sometimes it makes no logical sense.
At all.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. You define it better than I. But that's the feeling.
Yes.
I'm here, supposed to be here.
Right. And it's a feeling. I absolutely agree.
Yes.
It's a feeling. It's
yes.
not a thought. It's
No.
not an idea.
Oh, no,
it's not a belief.
You can't think it out because you just can't. You have to go with this is where I'm supposed to be and this is right.
Right. And if you think it out, the thinking is going to be much smaller than the soul agreement. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know, that's narrowing it down.
Exactly.
And I think if I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be doing this now, okay? And I remember thinking I was at a different studio and we wanted to do shows and they were closing the studio and taking it someplace else. And I said to the universe, I need a studio down. Mm-hmm. And everybody said, but I've had this happen. They're nuts.
Yes. So you made an intention.
Yes, I did.
And the universe heard you
and
said, we've got to volunteer.
By God, yes.
That's Velcro.
That's Velcro. And then I call it, when it's happening, Rosie, it's when it's happening, there's an element for me of magic.
Yes.
And you're like, woo, woo.
Yes, it's magic.